axis as well as with some other axis. Okay. Now, this is an unsymmetrical section. Now, since we have to calculate the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis, so first we need to locate the centroid. And to locate the centroid, now let's split this given figure into the basic geometrical shape. I'll consider this extreme bottom line as a reference x-axis, and with respect to that, I'm going to calculate the y bar. Okay. And about the x bar, that is the horizontal distance of the centroid from any reference line. If you observe this symmetrical I section, it is symmetrical about this vertical line. It is a symmetrical. Even though this top flange and bottom flange are unsymmetrical, such type of I section or beam section is commonly known as an unsymmetrical I section. So remember, unsymmetrical I section means the top flange and bottom flange has a different length. But even if it is unsymmetrical, but this beam section is always symmetrical about the vertical line. And when there is a symmetrical I section, in symmetrical I section, the length of the top flange and bottom flange both are same. Means this symmetrical I section is symmetrical about the vertical axis as well as horizontal axis. Okay, so in this symmetrical, unsymmetrical I section, this is the axis of symmetry. And we know that whenever there is any axis of symmetry, the centroid always lies on that axis of symmetry. Okay, means centroid will lie on this axis of symmetry somewhere. Okay, so to get the exact position of this centroid, we need to calculate the y bar. Okay, now to calculate this y bar, let's split this figure. X bar calculate करने की जरूरत नहीं है. That we can write directly. If I consider this as a reference y-axis, then and if it is 100 here, then and this is the axis of symmetry, then directly I can write down x bar equal to 50 millimeter. No need to calculate that. Okay, so remember this is the axis of symmetry. We have to calculate the y bar. To calculate the y bar, let's split it into three rectangular parts. This is bottom rectangle, I consider it as a one part, this is second, and this is third. Okay, and to calculate the y bar, we are going to use the basic formula. Y bar equal to, it is a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 upon a1 plus a2 plus a3. Okay, now no need to calculate it separately, directly we will write it. Remember this y1, y2, y3, these are the y coordinate of the centroid of the each geometrical figure. I'll consider these are the y bar. Now since this flange is having the bigger area, so centroid of the total lamina is closer to that. Okay, let this is G2, centroid of the second part, and let this is the G3, centroid of the third part. And this y1, y2, y3 are the y coordinate of that G1, G2 and G3. Here same procedure we have followed in first year, but only we have tabulated the result. Here instead of tabulating, we are going to write it directly. Okay, so which is equal to this A1, area of the first part. Here it is 160, sorry, it is 160, not 100. It is 160. Means x bar is 80. If I consider these are the y axis, then centroid lies on the axis of symmetry, so x bar becomes 80 millimeter. We can write it directly, no need to do the calculation for that. Okay, so y bar equal to a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 upon a1 plus a2 plus a3, since I have split it into three rectangular parts. Okay, so a1 equal to 160 into 2, this is the area into y1. y1 is a y coordinate, and y coordinate is a vertical distance from the reference x-axis. Reference x-axis we have considered extreme bottom line. So x coordinate, that is the vertical distance of the centroid. And we know that the centroid of a rectangular lamina lies at its midpoint. If this is 10, then this will be 10. That is 20 by 2. Okay. So, and this is the vertical distance of the G1 from x-axis, which represents the y coordinate of the centroid. Here, so here it is y1 is 10 millimeter. Any doubt? Any audio problem? Any video problem?
No, sir. No, sir.
No,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
No, sir.
It is 160 into 20 into 10 y1 plus, go for the second part. This is the second part. Okay. Now for your understanding, for first sum, I am doing this. This is the second part, whose dimension is 20 multiplied into 210, and from this bottom edge at a distance of 20 millimeter, this is the x-axis. Okay, now we know that the centroid of the second rectangle lies at its midpoint, which we have denoted as a G2. Here, now area of this rectangle is 20 into 210. It is A2 into Y2. Y2 is the vertical distance of the centroid from x-axis. Here, now this rectangle height is 210, and we know that the centroid of rectangle lies at its midpoint. Means this distance becomes 210 by 2, which is equal to 105. Okay, so 105 is not the y coordinate of that centroid. It is not the y2. Y coordinate is the vertical distance from the x-axis. We require this. So how much is that? 105 plus 20. So it is 125. Don't write 105. Okay. Plus, exactly in the same procedure we have to follow for the third rectangle. This is the third rectangle. This is the x-axis. The base of the third rectangle is at a distance of, this is 210 and this is 20. Means at a distance of 230 millimeter from the x-axis. This is the x-axis. And centroid is lies at its midpoint. This is G3. The dimension of this third rectangle is 120 into 20. Okay. So we are writing the A3 for this third rectangle. It is 120 into 20. This is A3 and Y3. It is the total vertical distance of the G3 from the x-axis. This total distance. Okay. So this is 20, means this will be the 10. So you can write it is 20 plus 210. That is 230 plus 10. Okay. How much it will be? 230 plus 10. It is 240. Total vertical distance from the x-axis, or I can write it as a, in bracket, I know that this is total 250, so I can write it as a 250 minus 10, one and the same thing. Okay, 20 plus 210 plus 10, or 250 minus 10, you will get the vertical distance from the x-axis. Okay, so this is A1Y1 plus A2Y2 plus A3Y3 upon A1 plus A2 plus A3. Now, for your understanding, I have drawn this separate figure, but not required. Directly from this figure, you can do this. It is unnecessarily extra work for you. And now you are in second year. If you have done it in the first year, it's okay. Here, but now try to do it directly. Upon A1 plus A2 plus A3. So it is 160 into 20 plus 20 into 210 plus A3. It is 20 into 120. Okay, simplify this, you will get y bar. I hope that all of you have calculator. So calculate and tell me the answer.
Sir, 115.6.
Let me check. Y bar is 115.6. Yes, right. 115.6 millimeter. This is the Y bar. Okay. Means the centroid of the entire lamina is at a distance of 115.6 millimeter. Okay. So this from the top edge, from the top surface, the centroid will be at a distance of 250 minus 115.6. How much is that?
138.38.
138.1.
No, sir, sorry.
It's okay.
134.38.
134.38. That is 4. I'll take it 4. 134.4. Okay. This is the distance of the centroid from bottom. This is the distance of the centroid from top. Here. And I've shown this centroidal axis. Okay. I've written y bar over here. Now I have to calculate the moment of inertia about this centroidal x-axis. This was the reference x-axis. This is the centroidal x-axis. We have to calculate the moment of inertia about the centroidal x-axis. Here, any difficulty to calculate the centroid? Don't do any table or something like that. You can do it directly. Even no need to write this formula directly. अगर आपने ये भी लिखा तो भी चलेगा. Okay. So this is the position of the centroid. Now let's calculate the moment of inertia about this centroidal axis. Here. Now this is the new part for you people. Now centroid, I told you that yesterday, the calculation of the moment of inertia is just similar to the calculation of the area. It is a scalar quantity, and similar to the calculation of the area, where we can add or subtract the moment of inertia also. Now I have to calculate the moment of inertia of these three figures about this centroidal axis. Okay, so what I will do, I will first calculate the moment of inertia of this rectangle 1 about this axis, then moment of inertia of the second rectangle about the same axis, and moment of inertia of the third rectangle about the same axis. And I'll add all that three moment of inertia so that I'll get the moment of inertia of this entire lamina about the centroidal x-axis. Okay, so I'm writing it as a IGX, moment of inertia about the centroidal x-axis, which is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Remember here, I1 is moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about centroidal x-axis. This is the centroidal x-axis of the entire lamina. It is not the centroidal axis of the that first rectangle only. Okay, centroidal axis. Okay, for your understanding, for the first term, I am writing all these things. You try to do this calculation in one step directly. Here, next term, I will show you how we can do it directly. Okay. Now, for your understanding, now I am drawing the figure also. Here, but from next terms, you have to imagine, and from this figure itself, you have to do. Now, listen. This is our first rectangle. What is the size of this rectangle? It is 20 by 160. This is the centroid of the first rectangle, G1. Now, yesterday I told you that what is the moment of inertia of a rectangle whose breadth is B and depth is D. The moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis is BD cubed by 12. It is BD cubed by 12. And if you want to find out the moment of inertia of this rectangle about any axis parallel to this, we have to use the parallel axis theorem. Okay. So I want to find out the moment of inertia of this rectangle about this centroidal axis. This is the centroidal axis of the entire lamina, which is at a distance of 115.6 from the bottom. Okay. अगर ये रेक्टेंगल का मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया मुझे यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट करना रहता था अबाउट इट्स ओन सेंट्रोइडल एक्सिस, I could have write directly BD cubed by 12. This is the moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis BD cubed by 12. But now I have to find out the moment of inertia of this rectangle about this axis. This axis is the centroidal axis of the entire lamina. But with respect to this rectangle 1, this is not the centroidal axis. This is any other axis. And yesterday I told you that whenever you want to find out the moment of inertia about any axis other than centroidal axis of that particular lamina, you have to use the parallel axis theorem. Okay. So here also you have to use the parallel axis theorem to find out the moment of inertia of this rectangle 1 about this centroidal axis. Okay. Now what is the, I am writing it as a I1, this is I1, which is equal to, what is the parallel axis theorem? Just, this is the parallel axis theorem. Okay. You have to keep it in your mind. Here, so for your understanding, I am writing it here. So this I1 equal to IG1, moment of inertia of this rectangle 1 about its own centroidal axis passing through G1, plus area of that lamina A1, this lamina, into square of the distance between these two parallel axes, this centroidal axis and this axis where we have to calculate the moment of inertia. ये दोनों में का distance चाहिए, which is the distance between the two parallel axes. Okay, centroidal axis and any other axis where we have to find out the moment of inertia. This y in this formula is the distance between the two parallel axes. Here, so here I am writing it as a y1 square. Okay, which is equal to, don't get confused between this y1 and this y1 which we have calculated earlier. Okay, that was the y coordinate of that g1. अगर confusion होता है तो इधर h1 लिखो, d1 लिखो. Okay, again h1 is not the height of this. Yeah. Now IG1, what is the moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis? The formula is BD cubed by 12. I told you that. Take the cube of that side which is perpendicular to the reference axis. Our reference axis is horizontal, so cube of this 20. Okay, so it is 160 into 20 cube upon 12. This is the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. We have to calculate the moment of inertia about any other axis. So add plus area of that rectangle 20 into 160 into square of the distance. Now, how much is the distance? It is 115.6 minus 10. Have you understood this? Square. We want the distance between these two. So, from the extreme bottom line, this is 115.6 and this distance is 10. Distance of the centroid from the bottom. Okay, so what will be the distance between the two parallel lines? It is 115.6 minus 10 whole square. You can write it directly also. Yeah, or you can remember this in such type of figure, this distance will be y bar minus y1 whole square. Y1 is the y coordinate of that given now here. Okay, so y bar minus y1, you will get this distance. Here y bar minus y2 bar, sorry, y bar minus y2 gives you the distance of this centroid G2 from this x-axis, centroidal x-axis. ये distance मिलेगा. ये distance कैसे मिलेगा आपको? You can take y bar minus y2. Actually, y2 is bigger than y bar, so you can write y2 minus y bar. But it doesn't make any difference here since we are squaring it. Doesn't make any difference whether you are writing y2 minus y bar or y bar minus y2. We require this distance, and it is a square of that. Understood? Here, so calculate this I1. This is the moment of inertia of this rectangle about this axis. Have understood this? From next term, from this figure only, we are going to do this calculation. We are not going to draw this figure. Since this is the fourth term, I am drawing this figure. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Have got the answer of I1.
Sir, it's 3579.
Listen, इधर ध्यान दो. Now, moment of inertia is the second moment of area. So, area into square of the distance. So, that number generally comes very big number. Okay, that number will be very big number. That's why whenever you are calculating the moment of inertia, calculate the moment of inertia and shift ENG function, ENG button. Here, this answer will convert in the standard form. Okay, standard form means 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 6, 10 raised to 9, or 10 raised to minus 3, minus 6, in that way. Here, so immediately after the calculation, press ENG button, your answer will be in the short, okay, but in the form of that power, exponential form में आएगा वो. Okay, now tell me, how much is that answer, Rahul? Rehan?
3579
3579
into 10 raised to 4.
into 10 raised to 4. Okay. How can you get 10 raised to 4? Actually, ये इंजन प्रेस करने के बाद में you should have get in terms of 3, 6, like that.
So 35.79 into 10 raised to 6.
6, correct. It's okay. No problem. Your answers was not wrong, but better you write in this form. Okay, millimeter raised to power 4. All dimensions are in millimeter, so it is millimeter raised to power 4. Okay. Then, this is I1. It is the moment of inertia of this rectangle 1 about this axis. Similarly, we will calculate the moment of inertia of this rectangle 2 about this centroidal axis. Here, for that also, I am going to draw the figure. This is rectangle 2. What is the size of this rectangle? Breadth is 20 and depth is 210. This is the centroid G2. Okay. This is the centroidal axis of this second rectangle. But we have to calculate, अगर यहाँ पे अगर calculate करने का रहता है moment of inertia, that I can directly write down it as a BD cube upon 12. This is the moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis. लेकिन वहाँ पे नहीं calculate करने का है. I have to calculate the moment of inertia of this rectangle about this axis, which is the centroidal axis of the entire lamina. Understood? Okay. So I am writing this I2 equal to, according to the parallax theorem, IG2, moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis, this figure, plus area A2 into square of the distance. I am writing it as a H2 square. So which is equal to, what is the moment of inertia of this rectangle about its own centroidal axis? It is B D cube cube of that side which is perpendicular to the reference axis upon 12 plus area 20 into 210 into square of the distance. How much is this distance? Now you can easily find out that distance from this figure. This G2. From the bottom, the distance of this G2 is 20 plus 105. Okay, which is the Y2.
Sir, it's 114.4.
You mean distance?
Yes, sir.
Distance. Okay. Let me explain how much you said. 114.4.
4.
Okay, let me check. Now, how to calculate this distance between these two parallel axes? Here, listen. This is the centroid of that second lamina, second rectangle, and this is the centroid of the entire lamina. Here, we have to calculate the distance between these two for parallel axis theorem. Because initially we have calculated the moment of inertia of this rectangle to about its own centroidal axis, और यहाँ से यहाँ पे shift करने का है, transfer करने का है. So you will require this distance. How I can get this distance? It is y2. This distance is y2, vertical distance of the G2 from the x-axis, and the vertical distance of the centroid from the x-axis is 115.6. Yeah. So how much is this distance between these two? Now how much is the y2? 20 plus 105. It is 125 minus 115.6 whole square. Okay, have understood this? Have understood this? From the bottom, this distance is 125. It is 105 because total is 210. This is 105 plus 20. 105 plus 20, so it is 125. Okay, minus this distance 115.6, so you will get this distance. It is 125.115.6 whole square. Definitely it won't be 114. Rahul, it is not 114.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have understood this?
Yes.
Okay, now calculate this. You can get this I2. Okay, similarly you can calculate the I3. Now listen to me. Now I3 is the moment of inertia of this rectangle 3 about this centroidal axis of the entire lamina. Now this centroidal axis does not coincide with the centroid of this third rectangle, and since it is not coinciding with its own centroidal axis, we have to use the parallel axis theorem. एक बात याद रखो कि जब भी आपको moment of inertia other than the centroidal axis calculate करने का है किसी लैमिना का, तो आप directly parallel axis theorem use कर सकते हैं. Yeah. So here I have to calculate the moment of inertia of this third rectangle about this centroidal axis. This is the centroidal axis of the entire figure, but right now I am considering this area only. This is the area under consideration. So for this area under consideration, this is not the centroidal axis. Okay, means we have to find out the moment of inertia of this third rectangle about any other axis other than its own centroidal axis. So we can use the parallel axis theorem. In parallel axis theorem, it is the summation of its moment of inertia about its own centroidal axis. Okay, it is BD cube by 12, cube of that side which is perpendicular to the reference axis. So it is 120 into 20 cube upon 12 plus area 120 into 20 into square of the distance between these two parallel axes. ये centroidal axis और ये centroidal axis, ये दोनों में का distance. How much is this distance? Can I here? I have calculated the distance of this centroidal axis of the entire lamina from the top surface. It is 134.4. Here, by using this 134.4, I can get this distance. It is 134.4 minus 10. This is 10. So this distance will be 134.4 minus 10. Okay, so 134.4 minus 10 whole square. Here, this way you can get the I3. Here, this perpendicular distance you can calculate by using y bar minus y3 whole square also. You are going to get the same answer. Here, let's check how it is. Now, how much is the y bar? It is 115.6. And how much is the y3? It is 20 plus 210, which is 230 plus 10. This plus 10. Okay, that is the y3. That is the distance of the centroid from the bottom x-axis. Here, so it is 230 plus 10, 240. The 114 minus 240 whole square. This answer and this answer both are same. Okay, square का आंसर सेम आएगा, otherwise this is negative. Okay, but since we are squaring it, doesn't make any difference. Okay, in this way you can get the I3. Now you can observe it here for this third rectangle. Neither I have drawn this figure. There is its own centroidal axis. There is the other axis where I have to calculate the moment of inertia. Neither I have written this, nor I have written this parallaxis theorem. I use the parallaxis theorem, but this basic parallaxis theorem you have to keep in your mind and just use the values. Okay, that is enough. Here, no need to use the parallaxis theorem and make this habit. Here, so calculate this I2 and I3. Actually, this is the solved sum from the book. I will take a peek and send you on the group how it is solved in the book. It is in the book. It is directly solved in one step. Next time we'll solve it in one step only. Calculate the I2.
88.
Sir, how you calculated I2?
Calculated the I2. I2 you have not understood. Hello, unmute yourself.
Hello.
You have not understood the I2 and unmute yourself.
Sir, how you
Okay.
calculated I2?
I2, you don't understood this. This numerical problem or what difficulty क्या है? What is your difficulty in this one? Should I explain this entire thing?
Sir, that was not visible to me.
It is not visible to you. Hello?
Yes. When you were explaining, it was not visible clearly.
Okay, now is it clear? Listen, this is the second rectangle, okay, whose dimension, depth is 210 and breadth is 20. This is the centroid of second rectangle. And we have to calculate the moment of inertia. This is the second rectangle. We have to calculate the moment of inertia of this second rectangle about the centroidal axis of this lamina, about this x-axis. Okay, यहाँ पे हम लोगों को moment of inertia calculate करने का है. So we have to use the parallaxis theorem since it is not the centroidal moment. Centroid, this axis does not pass through the centroid of that second rectangle. Okay, so I use the parallaxis theorem. It is I2 equal to Ig2 moment of inertia. This is the moment of inertia about this axis. Moment of inertia about its own centroidal axis. और यहाँ से मुझे यहाँ पे ट्रांसफर करने का है. So plus area into square of the distance between the two parallel axes. Okay, so Ig2 equal to BD cube by 12, cube of that side which is perpendicular to the reference axis. So 20 into 210 cube by 12 plus area 20 into 210 into square of the distance between these two. अभी ये distance कैसे आया? ये देखो इधर. This G2 is at a distance of, from the bottom I am calculating the distance. Yeah, G2 is at a distance of 20 plus 105. So it is 125. And distance of the centroid of the entire lamina from the base is 105.6, sorry, 115.6. Okay, so from the bottom, if this axis is at a distance of 125, this axis is at a distance of 115.6. So how much is the distance between these two? It is 125 minus 115.6. You will get the distance between these two. That I have written over here. It is a square. Calculate. You will get I2. Understood? It is just a parallaxis theorem. Calculation of the moment of
Yes, sir.
inertia
Thank
is
you.
just a parallaxis theorem, nothing else. Tell me answer of I2, I3, then take the summation of these three and tell me the value of IGX.
88.79, sir.
Final answer or I2?
I3. Sorry, final answer. Direct.
Final answer, 88.79
79
into 10 raised to
6 millimeter.
6 millimeter raised to 4. This is the final answer. Understood? Okay. You take the screenshot and solve in your notebook properly after the lecture. Okay. I'll go ahead. Now, if you understood this, now next sum is very simple. Now, in next sum, we'll just calculate the moment of inertia for the T section. Very simple. Consider this T section. Let this is 100 millimeter, this is 20 millimeter, this is 20 millimeter, and this is again suppose 80 millimeter. Okay. We have to calculate the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis. So first we need to look at the centroid. Now again this T section is always symmetrical about this vertical line. Means no need to calculate the x bar, you have to calculate only y bar. You have to calculate the y bar, let's split it into two parts. We are going to calculate the y bar with respect to this bottom line. So consider this is rectangle 1, this is rectangle 2. Here for this rectangle 1 its own centroid lies at its midpoint G1, and for this it is G2 at its own centroid. Okay, now we have to calculate the y bar. Now I am going to write it directly. Just listen. Y bar equal to A1 Y1. It is 20 into 80. This is A1 into Y1. Y1 is the distance of the centroid from the x-axis. X-axis is always at the bottom. So this distance. Agar ye 80 hai, so how much is this distance? It is 40. Plus second, it is 100 into 20 into how much is the y2, distance of the G2 from the x-axis, vertical distance from the x-axis. So it is 80 plus 10, 90 upon A1 20 into 80 plus 100 into 20. Calculate, you will get y bar. This is the position of the centroid. Tell me the answer. It will be somewhere here. Centroid. This is the centroidal x-axis, and this distance is y bar. How much?
67.78.
67.78. Okay, y bar equal to 67.78. Now we have to calculate the moment of inertia about this centroidal axis. Here, now just listen to me carefully. I am writing it directly here. So this moment of inertia about the centroidal x-axis Igx, which is equal to I1 plus I2. Because in this one I have divided into only two parts, I1 plus I2. Now I1 is the moment of inertia of this first rectangle about this axis, which is the central axis of the entire figure. Okay, so here we have to calculate the moment of inertia of this first rectangle. Rectangle is not its own centroidal axis. This is the centroidal axis of this rectangle one. Okay, now since it is the non-centroidal axis for the rectangle one, we have to use the parallax theorem. Yeah, so first we'll calculate the moment of inertia of this rectangle one about its own centroidal axis, and by using the parallax theorem वो यहाँ पे shift कर देंगे. And parallax theorem should be in your mind. Here, what is that? Moment of inertia about this centroidal, about its own centroidal axis plus area into square of the distance between the two parallel axes. Here, so it is I1 equal to BD cube by 12 cube of that side, which is perpendicular to the reference axis. So it is 20 into 80 cube by 12 Ig1 plus area 20 into 80 into square of the distance. अभी ये distance कितना है? Okay, this is 67.78 and this distance is, this is the centroid of this first rectangle which is at its midpoint. अगर ये 80 है तो ये 40 होगा. Here, so what will be this distance? It is 67.78 minus 40 whole square. This is I1 only. Okay, plus I2. Okay, and take it in the square bracket, plus I2. That is the moment of inertia of this second rectangle about this axis. Okay, now to calculate that, what I will do, it is 100 and this is 67.78. So what is the distance of this top surface from the centroidal axis? 100 minus 67.78. How much? 32.22. Is that correct? Let's check once again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I have to calculate now moment of inertia of this second rectangle about this axis. Again, I will use the parallax theorem. उसके लिए first I will calculate the moment of inertia of this rectangle one about its own centroidal axis, and then by using the parallax theorem, I will transfer it over here. So what will be the moment of inertia of this rectangle two about its own centroidal axis? It is BD cube cube of that side which is perpendicular to the reference axis. A reference axis is horizontal, so cube of this side. Okay, so it is 100 into 20 cube upon 12. VD cube by 12. This is IG2 plus area 100 into 20. अगर मुझे यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट करने का रहता था तो this much is enough. But now I have to calculate at this other than centroidal axis. So I have to use the parallel axis theorem. So it is the centroidal moment of inertia plus area into square of the distance. Now how much is the distance between these two axes? It is 32.22 minus this 10. Total is 20. So this will be the 10 from the top. This is 10. So 32.22 minus 10, you will get the distance between these two. So it is 32.22 minus 10 whole square. Okay, this becomes the moment of inertia of the entire lamina about the centroidal axis. Here, calculate and write the answer. Okay, and do practice like this. No need to write a formula, no need to write, draw the separate figure of each part. Okay, because it is not the special sum of moment of inertia. You have to use this centroid and moment of inertia in further calculation. Yeah, if there is a sum of 10 marks, then this will be the part only for 2 marks, 2 or at the most 3. Okay, tell me how much is the answer?
4.23 into 10 raised to 6.
4.23 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter raised to power 4. IGX. Okay, understood? Now, just 1 minute. Listen to me. Today we'll stop here, but before that, let me tell you, this was just a brief program from Monday till now. From coming Monday, we'll start our actual syllabus, and first lesson is a stress and strain, okay, which is very important. Before that, I would like to tell you, just go through some web pages and just read or watch some videos related to the factor of safety. Factor of safety. Okay, this is the additional reading for you today. Okay, and from next lecture, from Monday, we'll start our actual syllabus. First lesson, stresses and strain, which is very, very important from exam point of view, from the higher semester subjects point of view, and from the point of view of any mechanical or civil design. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.